Welcome to the Nate Frazier Gaming channel. You wonder why I got this Halo mask on, right? Because we got some Halo news that we got to talk about. Thing is it good news or if it's bad news? Stay tuned. Okay, we're going to get into this Halo news. It just recently came out today, or by the time I dropped this video, which is yesterday, and I really wanted to talk about it. So one of the things that 343 Industries did was rebrand themselves. They call themselves Halo Studios. So I guess they trying to do that so then they could get away from that name, from all the terrible games they made. I wouldn't say all the games are terrible. I think they hit it the nail on the head with Halo Infinite multiplayer. The story mode, not too much, but the multiplayer I still play to this day. I love it. You know what I mean? I don't have no gripes about it. You know what I mean? I wish they had more variety. You know what I mean? That would be better, but I feel like they had the perfect balance for that one. So now they call it Halo Studios, which is understandable because now they're trying to go a different way. So they have to leave the old name behind. Another thing that they did was they had their own engine that they created Halo with called Slipspace. They trashed that. They got rid of that. Now they're working with Unreal Engine 5 to create the new Halo, or the Halo Combat Evolved remake. We don't know what they're doing going forward as Halo or whatnot, but I think they coming up with some good ideas, you know what I mean, to bring the brand back. I've always been a Halo fan since the first one came out, and I'm still a big Halo fan. And I still think that there's a lot of story that could be told that Halo Studios can add into the game or whatnot. The multiplayer, I think they should keep it. They shouldn't change it. The story, they should continue with the story, but make it more congruent, you know what I mean? Because it felt like when they came out with Halo 5, then they jumped to Halo Infinite, the story did not match up at all. But we'll get more into it. We have a video that Halo Studio have put out showing what some of the stuff that they working on to change the whole franchise. So we're gonna get it right into it. All right, we're gonna be doing some commentary over the video that they dropped. It's called A New Dawn, Halo Studios. So it's sort of like hey, don't give up on us now. We rebranding everything. We trying to do everything right. And we're going to see what they have to say about the franchise going forward and what changes that's being made. And I'm going to see if it's a good thing that we're doing it or bad thing, or they need to focus on something else. So let's get right into it.
Chris Matthews, take one. Mark.
This is Casey Wu, take one. Mark.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
For 6 years, I don't want to be in front of a camera.
There's so much to do and so much fun to be had when you play Halo that I feel like I never run out of things to do.
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters.
What made Halo successful at the beginning? What is the legacy of Halo, and what's the soul that we want to bring forward, and what's the craft of making Halo games, and how do we set our studio at best to go deliver on that?
We knew we had to make a change in order to take us into the future.
When I first heard about Halo moving to Unreal Engine, my first thought was, this is going to be a really hard secret to keep.
I think fans are going to be excited about the future of Halo because of the possibilities that are afforded us by using Unreal.
Before, we really had to split our focus in thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time. Since we've made the change to...
See, that right there is already telling you that they had too much on their hands already, too much on their plate. They trying to be a tech company and build a game at the same time when they should just be focused on building the game. They should just leave building that engine to someone else and just focus on getting out good games. You know what I mean? I know how greedy some companies could be where they want both, but you can see that it's just too much work on their hands. And I'm glad that they just scrapping that and just going with an Unreal Engine 5. You know what I mean? So let's get back into it.
to UE, we can bring Halo forward in ways that people have never seen before while still being true to what Halo is.
The Foundry project was an effort to show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
New studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
Foundry specifically is based around the same concept of the Foundry in Halo lore. It's the place where Halo rings are born. It's not a game, it's a research project for our studio so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
So I guess it's some of the work right here. It looks nice. It looks nice. It say work in progress, content rendered in Unreal Engine 5. It looks nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
Gotta disagree on that. You know what I mean? I don't think back then, I don't think they was really shooting for graphics. I never knew Halo as like, oh, look how realistic this game is. But it did look good, but I don't think graphics was up there. You know what I mean? To me, I don't think graphics was up there. It was just the functionality, the story, the gameplay, how well did it play on my Xbox. The graphics, not too much, but we'll see. I hope they won't focus too much on the graphics and not on the gameplay and the story. I hope so. Oh man, look at you.
So once Project Foundry had been approved, we took the entire creative team and we ideated on 3 locations, something old, something new, and something really alien.
We had the Pacific Northwest, which is sort of traditional Halo biome.
We were trying to shove as much foliage in there as humanly possible to make it really feel like you're on a hike in the, Cascades.
The Coldlands, which was the second biome that we took on, it was more of a technical showcase where we could play with shaders, we could play with deformable landscapes and terrains. Unreal affords us more opportunity than we've ever had in the past.
On the surface, it might just look all like snow, but how many layers of things combine to really give that winter look?
And then our third biome was the Blightlands, which is any land that's been completely taken over by the flood.
I wanted to give our team...
That's one thing I want them to bring back. I do want them to bring back the flood. I feel like seeing the flood for the first time made the game so menacing and horrific. Like I was like, man, what the hell is this? But I hope in the next game or the remake they bring the flood back. I really do like the flood.
Opportunity to really express an alien world, a really alien world, taking something way further than they may have actually done in previous Halo games.
What's impressed me about watching the Halo team work in Unreal is how beautiful everything looks, how incredible the environments look. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it in Unreal Engine before.
Fortunately, we have a studio that's really passionate about Halo, about the look and the feel. And, I think there's a lot of hunger to really collaborate, to move forward together.
Foundry was an initiative that touched on every part of the creative process. Everything from concept art, VFX, characters, vehicles, and weapons to make the future games of Halo.
Creating an asset, taking this design, now we can really dig into material.
Yeah, just looking at the pistol right there looks nice. I like that. Even the rays, the sun rays are reflecting off everything pretty nice. So this might be a nice looking game. I'm glad they went with this engine.
Foundations, what is it actually made of? How is it physically accurate to the world? Now we get to take all the wonderful legacy assets that we have, bring them to life, and bring them to today's standards.
We are really excited to be not just working on multiple projects, but also expanding our studio.
As a lifelong Halo player, I think the game's only going to get better when we get those new, unique perspectives and people bring in their expertise and passion for the Halo franchise.
We are looking for new talent as the projects that we're working on kind of get further and further into their development cycles.
And it is great to be part of a team that's growing because you can kind of see that force multiplied as people come in and take.
That is great because I remember Microsoft laying off a lot of people, a lot of employees. But that's good that they're finally getting back up there and rebuilding the studio, and they probably gonna bring in some quality people that really get the franchise up and running.
Challenges, and you can do more.
Imagine a place where you have the commitment that this is what we want to do, Halo games, and create those experiences. And you can express your talent, your creativity, and your professional ambitions in that place.
We're looking for designers, we're looking for artists, we're looking for engineers.
It feels like a new beginning for the studio in a lot of ways, and I think that's pretty rare.
And I think we arrived now at a point where you see the beginnings of people to start to believe in the process.
There's so much momentum that we have right now, and focus and clarity on not just what we're building, but why we're building and kind of this next phase of Halo.
The worlds that we're building, the stories that we're going after.
The potential at Halo right now is huge.
Halo Infinite was the last remnants of how we made Halo games in the past. That was our recipe. And what we are doing right now, we're changing that recipe.
All right, that was pretty good. I feel pretty excited to see that they making good steps forward. No, I mean, not making steps back. Look, Halo Infinite wasn't that bad to me. The multiplayer I felt like was perfectly balanced. They had the old school Halo feel to it with the modernized running and shit like that. It was great. It's just a story. Like, for example, this villain in Halo Infinite is called the Banished. Nobody didn't know who the Banished was unless you played Halo Wars 2 or read the comics on the Banished. So if you went into Halo Infinite thinking you're jumping from Halo 5 to Infinite, thinking the story is going to be congruent, it's not. You know what I mean? So a lot of people was confused, like who is this villain? What's going on? They just look like Red Covenant. You know what I mean? So people was very confused about that, and the story just was all convoluted and shit like that. And then the gameplay for the story mode was kind of boring and repetitious. You know what I mean? It's you go here, save these group of soldiers, and then you go here, save this group of soldiers, and then it was hinting like Atriox was dead, but we all know he was still alive, and it was just, the story was just terrible. In my opinion, it was terrible. It wasn't something I wanted to keep playing. But multiplayer it has plenty of replay value. I like when they come with the Husky raid and stuff like that, and the team doubles. So the multiplayer is great. They even like them jumping into Halo Infinite. It's a lot of unfinished business. You know what I mean? Spartan Lock. I would think I would see Spartan Lock again, or Blue Team, or the Flood. Even the Flood. Like, bring the Flood back. You feel me? Bring the horror back. You know what I mean? That shit was what made Halo what it was. You know what I mean? But you know, I gotta have some skepticism, because 343 going to Halo Studios is still the same people that work at the studio. So, you know, we got to see what they could do to make this franchise go forward, or they might just, you know what I mean, this probably is the last hoorah before people start saying, yeah, it's over with, it's dead. You know what I mean? You don't want to be another Joker movie. I don't know if anybody's seen that Joker movie, but heard it was terrible, a musical, and I hate musicals. So I think this is the last hoorah for the Halo franchise to take off and do what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? And create a better story, have more important characters into the game. I don't want characters that you think I should be, like characters you think I should get close with and they really not, or they just disappear for the rest of the game and you don't know what the hell is going on unless you read the comics or you played the side games like Halo Wars or Spartan Assault. You know what I mean? Just work on the story, keep everything congruent. You know what I mean? I want to be able to play one game and then go to the next game and the story pick up right after what that last game was. But keep the multiplayer the same. Don't change anything about that. Maybe add in a few extras, but keep the multiplayer the same. You know what I mean? But thank y'all for watching. Make sure I hit that like button, that subscribe button. This is Nate Frazier Gaming. Y'all have a good day. Peace.